Hello, my name is Emma, and today I am doing my November book haul. Now, last month in October, we had the no-buy book haul, where I didn't buy any books. And this book haul is mostly books I bought. I went a little crazy after depriving myself for a month. I can't be blamed for it. We'll see if December is better, but I currently have 11 books in this haul to show you guys, and I'm really excited to do so. The first book I received in the month of November is A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. I recently uploaded a completely spoiler-free review of this book on my channel, and if I have ever wanted you guys to watch a review of mine, it would be this one. The link is in the description. Please go watch that review and have this book entered into your life because it is so amazing and I cannot wait to talk about it again. While that review has a much better synopsis than what I'm going to give you right now, because again, I want you to go watch that review, A List of Cages essentially follows two main characters, a boy named Adam and a boy named Julian, who for a while were foster brothers, and Julian lived with Adam's family. A couple years down the line, Julian no longer lives with Adam, but they end up going to the same high school, and Adam has to kind of help Julian to make sure he goes to all of his appointments with the school psychologist. So after 5 years of not living together, the two start to kind of rekindle their old friendship that they've had, and it's about them kind of coming to terms with where they both are in life now compared to where they were a couple of years ago and adjusting to the differences and experiences that they've had. This book was just so overwhelmingly amazing. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and I talked about it in that review. I'll talk about it in my wrap up, but like, this book changed my life. I feel like a different person and a better person after reading it, and it just means the world to me. So I would really recommend you guys check out this review. This book comes out January 10th of 2017, but even though it's a couple months away, I do not want you to forget about this book because it is so amazing, and I know it's going to impact others the way it has impacted me. If you are interested in A List of Cages by Robin Rowe, I am hosting a giveaway where I'm giving away 2 copies, one for you and one for you to give away to a friend in the spirit of the book, and the deadline for that giveaway is going to be December 24th of 2016, and you'll get the book after the release. All of the information related to the giveaway, including the Rafflecopter link where you can actually enter it, is going to be in the description of this video. So I am so unbelievably excited for the upcoming release of A List of Cages because this book is honestly just life-altering, heartwarming, and heart-wrenching at the same time. There is just so many amazing emotions you're gonna feel while reading it, and I can't wait to see how many of you guys actually pick it up. So the next couple of books that I bought all in one day. I spent like $80 on books after going a whole month without any. Oh well. I did actually haul these in a vlog I'm going to be talking about in a couple of minutes, but I do want to share them with you guys here. So the first book I'm talking about is Heartless by Marissa Meyer. I went to the signing in New York City that Marissa had at Barnes & Noble in Union Square, and I got to meet her again, which was just so amazing. If you would like to check out all of the awesome footage and all the things I did that day, I will leave the link to that vlog in the description of this video, which I would really recommend checking out because the footage of all of the craziness that went on and all of the like games and stuff we played was so cool and unique and unlike a book signing I've ever been to, so all of that's going to be in the description. I'm sure you guys have all heard of Heartless. It is essentially a prequel to Alice in Wonderland where it focuses on the Queen of Hearts before she became the character we know today. It follows this girl named Catherine who is a baker, and she just kind of wants to live a normal life with her best friend, but she's kind of caught the eye of the king, and of course everyone wants her to marry off to the king and live as the queen and be rich and lavish and all of the good things a lot of people would want. But nope, Catherine just wants to bake. And so one day when she is at the castle for some sort of ball or whatever, she meets a court joker named Jest. And so they kind of have this immediate connection and start this kind of secretive forbidden relationship underneath Catherine being courted by the king. And I know it's gonna end in craziness because we all know the story of the Queen of Hearts now, and I am so excited to read it. I'm going to be reading this in January for the next upcoming biannual Bibliothon, which is a readathon I host twice a year with a bunch of my best friends. If you would like to join us, all of the information related to the biannual Bibliothon will be in the description of this video. So at that signing, when I bought Heartless, I was a little triggered and I bought more. So the first non-related Heartless book I bought that day was Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn. I am currently reading Gone Girl, which I am really enjoying, so of course I had to pick up a couple of Gillian Flynn's other works, and the one that I was really drawn to was Dark Places. So like I've been saying for the past couple of months, I've been really into like adult psychological thriller mysteries, that kind of genre, which obviously Gillian Flynn is very well known for. Dark Places follows this woman named Libby who, after years of surviving the murder of her mother and 2 sisters and testifying against her brother and having him convicted, this organization called the Kill Clubs contacts her and says, we kind of want to prove that your brother was innocent and that he didn't do it. So from what I can gather, it's all about Libby and the Kill Club going through this investigation and reliving that night and kind of finding evidence either supporting Ben or against him. Who knows? I am really intrigued by this book. I am definitely going to be picking it up soon, and I have heard great things, so I cannot wait to read it. Then I bought Helter Skelter, which is by Vincent Bugliosi and Kurt Gentry. As I have said in a couple of videos, but I most frequently talk about it on Twitter, I am such a serial killer fanatic. I am so fascinated by the minds of people that commit all of these murders, and obviously the Manson murders are of great interest to me. I have been researching the Manson murders on my own since I was like 13, and now that I have a criminal justice minor in my psychology major, we do a lot of research on people like Charlie Manson. And so this book was actually written by the prosecutor of the Manson trials in California in like the 1970s after all of this had happened. So I believe it takes you through all of the different events that happened throughout those murders and all of the trials. And while I have watched like every decent Manson family documentary out there multiple times, and I know the story like the back of my hand, I am really excited to actually read about it in novel form, nonfiction, from the prosecutor. I am really excited for this book. I don't really know when I'm going to get to it because it is pretty huge, and nonfiction is not really my thing, even though this is a topic that is of great interest to me, but I am totally going to read it soon. I cannot wait, and I'm so happy I finally decided to pick it up. And the final book I bought at the day I spent the most money at Barnes & Noble I have spent all year is The Girls by Emma Cline. This is another book that I recently picked up. I ended up giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I do have a mostly spoiler-free review that is going to be coming to this channel very soon because I am so excited to talk about it. Kind of in relation to the book I last showed you, this is kind of like a fictional retelling of the Manson family. Primarily, this book takes place at the end of the 1960s in Northern California when this 14-year-old girl named Evie is just at the park one day and she notices these girls that are very unlike people she has seen before, and she's instantly drawn to them. She's very fascinated by this 19-year-old named Suzanne, who invites her back to this ranch where everyone there is kind of focused on this aspiring musician named Russell. But the bulk of the book kind of follows Evie as this coming-of-age story as she's interacting with all these people she's never been with before and kind of finding her place at this ranch and just all of the things that happen. We just discussed what happened to the Manson family, so I'm sure you guys can guess what kind of goes on in this book, where it's primarily focused on the cult lifestyle, but I really enjoyed this book, and I've been hearing such great things about it for the longest time. It was like the big summer it book, and although I did not pick it up in the summer, I have been interested in it since I first heard about it because of that prior interest I have with the similar story that inspired it. So I loved The Girls. I cannot wait to discuss it more in depth in that review, but I really hope you guys pick this up because it was such a great book. The next book I bought in the month of November is Gemini by Amie Kaufman and Kristoff. I read Illuminate earlier this year and I absolutely loved it. It is one of the coolest and most unique books I have ever read, and so when the sequel came out, I of course had to pick up a copy. I also picked this up because I'm going to be reading it in the Biennial Bibliothon as well, so the week I read Heartless, I will be reading Gemini. I did get the arc of Gemini at VA, so I did have a copy of it beforehand, but as I was flipping through it, there were some pages that were missing where the art wasn't final, and because this book is so heavily focused on the media aspects and is literally told in basically all pictures and just different ways of telling the story, how could I have missed out on a page or two? I feel like it would have been so crucial to the story to have everything. So I am really excited to read Gemini. I have heard fantastic things, and I just know it's going to hold true for the love I had for Illuminate. There's a common theme with my bookshelves. I don't even think the books are in frame at the moment, but I kind of keep getting 2 copies of books related to this series throughout my whole life now, so it was only natural that the second a new book came out, I was gonna end up getting 2 copies. And that is the screenplay of Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by J.K. Rowling. Because everyone's gonna say it, yes, I know it's J.K. Rowling, but I cannot change the way I have been saying her name for almost 10 years now. So the reason I have 2 copies of the screenplay is not because I intentionally went out to buy 2. I bought one, I pre-ordered it, I got it the day before, which was really cool. But Scholastic does this thing where they kind of send me Harry Potter books the day after I buy them. So thank you so much, Scholastic, for sending me a copy of the Fantastic Beasts screenplay. I'm really honored you'd think of me, but I just find it funny because the same thing happened with Cursed Child, where I got the book the day of because I was so excited and it's Harry Potter. How could I wait a day even if I wasn't going to read it immediately? and then I get another copy from Scholastic the next day. So I'm kind of going back and forth saying I should probably return the other book to Amazon because $15 would be helpful to me at the moment, but I do find it funny that I got Deathly Hallows and Cursed Child and Fantastic Beasts, all 3 of the newest installments of Harry Potter. I got dual copies of them just by chance, not even on purpose. So I think it's a funny little tradition I have going with myself, but although I have not seen Fantastic Beasts yet, I really want to. I am really excited to have the screenplay, and I'm definitely going to read it in the future once I've seen the movie and kind of get a better look at the writing behind it and kind of try and see J.K. Rowling more in it because I know I'm going to be so focused on the actual visuals of the movie when I see it. The next book I have on this list is from Muse Monthly, and now Muse Monthly actually just sent me this special box just as a thank you, and they're very kind, so thank you so much Muse Monthly for sending it to me, but I won't have an unboxing for this video, but I will show you the book I got. And that book is The Mortifications by Derek Palacio. I just have to stop, and I try not to do this in book hauls too much, but like this cover is so cool. It totally stands out. I wish I had room on my bookshelf to display it just because I think it is really unique and colorful, and I just love it so much. I also love the different shapes on the spine that match the cover. Oh my god, just the whole production of the exterior of this book is super cool, but even better, the synopsis. So The Mortifications takes place in 1980 when a Cuban family is kind of torn apart. The father, Ubexel, refuses to leave Cuba, but the mother, Soledad, takes the 2 children and they move away to America, and rather than just settling close to Miami, they end up going all the way to Connecticut. So this family is now hundreds upon hundreds of miles apart in a completely different climate and culture than they ever have really been in before. So essentially it is about all of the family members adapting to all of these new changes. It says the daughter Isabel is somehow connected to the dying. The son Ulysses is bookish and awkward but is haunted by the memory of his father. And the mother Soledad engages in this relationship with a tobacco farmer, but it turns out that Ubexel is kind of still involved in the story. So it's just about this family and them adapting to their new environment and all of the changes that come with it. It sounds like a really powerful story and something totally out of my comfort zone, which is what I love about Muse Monthly because it brings in all of these diverse books that I probably wouldn't normally pick up, but are of so much interest to me, and I really want to get to The Mortification soon. So thank you again, Muse Monthly, for sending me your awesome, I don't even know if it was like the November box or if it was just like a special box, but I'll show you the tea even though I didn't do an unboxing. So they sent me this Sage Rose white tea from the White Tea Company, but white spelled like W-I-G-T and not like white like the actual tea, and then they also sent tea bags so that I can fill the tea leaves in the tea bag and everything will work out. I do have to say though, this was so hard to open. I've tried opening it like 3 times, and every single time, tea leaves just go everywhere. And there's tea leaves all over my floor because I still can't get them all up. But this tea smells delicious. I am totally going to try it soon with my 2 tea bags, and maybe I'll do it while reading The Mortifications. Who knows? But Muse Monthly is awesome as always, and if you want more information on their company, I will leave the information to them below. The next book I bought in the month of November is the bind-up for Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare, and of course Sarah Reese Brennan, Maureen Johnson, and Robin Wasserman. I picked this up because I went to the Cassandra Clare New York City launch event for the bind-up novella, and if you want to see all of that event, it'll be linked in the description of this video in vlog form. It was such a wonderful event. I met Cassie again and she signed it, but what is really cool is Alberto Rosende was there and he ended up signing my book as well. And as I was finishing that vlog, I realized how full circle everything went. Like, Simon signed my book. How many people can really say that they have a situation like that? I think it's really cool. I have already read the Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy as they were released in ebook form a year ago because how could I wait? But the physical form is here in all of its gigantic glory, and I'm so excited to now have a signed copy by Cassandra and Alberto. But wait! There's more. As of this moment, I am currently hosting a giveaway, and if I stick to my upload schedule, you should have 1 more day to enter this giveaway, which I would totally recommend because it doesn't matter how late you enter as long as it's before the end of it. But let me tell you about this giveaway. But essentially at the signing, I got a second copy of Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy, and it's not just because I am greedy. I ended up getting a second copy signed by Cassie and Alberto that I am currently giving away, in addition to a chapter sampler for Lord of Shadows, the second installment of the Dark Artifices series series, which comes out in May. I do believe there is like one more day that you have left to enter, or it might be just a couple of hours, I don't know, but if you're watching this on time, the giveaway ends December 1st, and so I would really recommend entering that giveaway because it is international, so you can enter from anywhere in the world and you have the opportunity to win a signed book by Cassandra Clare and Alberto Rosende, and I am just so over the moon excited to give it to one of you guys, and all of the information on how you can enter and the guidelines and everything of that sort is in the description of this video. But honestly, the event was super cool. Check out that vlog if you're interested, but I do have one more exciting thing coming related to this book and the event in the near future that I'm really excited to share with you guys, so stay tuned for that as well. So the final book on my November book haul is actually from Owl Crate's November Wonderland box, and while I have obviously opened it because I have the book, I haven't had my unboxing up yet. That will be going up later this week, I believe. It's coming soon, and you'll see all of my crazy gushingness over what I believe is the best Owl Crate box I have ever received or they have ever made. But the book inside of it was Heartless by Marissa Meyer. Now I know what you're thinking, Emma, isn't this the cover of Heartless? But what is this whiteness? What? There's two covers. What do you mean there's two covers? Yes, Owl Crate released a special dust jacket edition of Heartless for their Wonderland box, which was just like the icing on top of a perfect book box. I think this idea was super cool. I hope that they do things like this more in the future because they're always doing amazing YA releases that everyone ends up getting dual copies of because we buy the books anyways. But yes, I think that was a fabulous idea, and the cover is just amazing. I had no idea what I thought the special cover would be or what it would look like. I didn't expect it to be the same thing in different colors, but it totally looks like a different book now, which is super cool. So now I have two editions of Heartless, but they're both very special to me because this one is the original that is signed by Marissa Meyer, and this is the one that I got in that amazing Owl Crate box. So stay tuned for all my reactions on the unboxing, but I'm really excited to have this book now. Alrighty, well that is it for my November book haul. Let me know in the comments of this video what your favorite book by or read was of November. I got so many good books this month, I don't know which one was my favorite that I bought. My November wrap-up is coming soon, so maybe we'll talk about what my favorite read of November was in that video, but that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you soon for a new video. Bye!